There he is, the one and only.
Hey, what's up, Bay? How are you, buddy?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. Just hanging in, getting some work done, some sculpts, music,
Dude,
all of that stuff.
It's so crazy. Like, I didn't I realized later, once the whole thing with Punky Meadows and you came together, I was like, holy crap, that's the same fucking guy that used to do the sculpts I would see on eBay probably 20 years ago, and I was mind blown. Yeah,
Thank you, man.
Blown away by the work. I mean, the Evel Knievel one you did, and because I'm a big Evel Knievel fan, big big
me too.
music fan and all that. But I think that was the first one that really I saw, and then going through your stuff through the years and all, I was just like, holy cow! How the hell did you get started with doing that?
As far as sculpting, what happened was, I'm a collector myself, and I'd go to a lot of conventions and buy they were called garage kits at the time, and there was a couple of really amazing sculptors like this guy Jeff Yeager who did a Wolfman kit that and I always loved the Wolfman, and I bought that kit, and I always said, wow, man, imagine making one of these or something, and I always I was really impressed with all the sculpts I'd see, but not knowing much about what I was born an artist, that just came natural as a child.
Okay.
That's a long story, but so I never knew I could sculpt, so it was something new to me. And then I'd see some figures released that I always thought could have been, maybe the likeness could have been better or something, and then you get some that the likenesses were perfect. So I said, you know what, let me try Kiss. And, I went to the art store and bought some clay and said, hey, man, I'm going to try sculpting, and I tried. The first thing I did was a Planet of the Apes head, and I remember doing it at night and saying, wow, that actually looks like it, I can't believe I could do this. It was really strange. It was so weird because I was like, wow, I could do something that I didn't even know I had in me. I knew I was an artist, but never pursuing that. This is something that I'd really be interested in doing, So then I started making my own custom figures. I figured I'd try somewhat more realistic hair, so they were a little more like wax museum type things, I was trying to make more realistic type characters. And I kept getting better and better as I went along, and the likenesses were pretty good, and it started catching on. Everybody be like, oh yeah, this is the Farrow, I want to get a figure. And then the toy companies caught on, and I first official thing I did was for NECA, a Harry Potter figure, Draco.
Oh, wow.
And that was a big dream come true to actually have a toy, something in Toys R Us or something. It was I just it was so weird because I never went to school for it or anything, and to see this happening was kind of unreal to me. And then Randy's really cool at NECA, so he also gave me the Planet of the Apes. It was a 2-pack exclusive that came out a few years ago.
Right.
And that was really cool to have that in Toys R Us, So I love Planet of the Apes, one of my favorite thing. And then as far as Figures Toy Company, the wrestler, he went by Demon, Dale Torborg. He dressed as actually Gene Simmons. He was on the big wrestling network. What's it, WWC?
He was on WCW.
Yeah, that's it. And he was a fan of my work, and he went to this company and said, if you do Kiss figures, you got to get this guy. So we wound up getting in touch with that company, and ever since that, I was their lead sculptor now for 4 years. So we've done Kiss, Batman, the TV show Batman, all the DC characters. A lot of times, this stuff comes out really good, and then through mass production, sometimes, it's hard to get the hair right, especially on Kiss and stuff like that when you're not doing it yourself. But They really do a great job. I mean, they got to be one of the best toy companies out there. They're getting the whole Mego. They do a lot of Mego type figures. Back in the day in the '70s. Now they upgraded from doing those, and they're it's kind of like the same style, but we're doing a lot of cool characters. We're doing the monkeys, right?
Sure.
Of course, the monkeys. We're doing 18-inch figures of those. We did 12-inch and 8-inch a few years back, but now that we're doing 18-inch figures, they look really cool. Real excited about that. We've done Scooby-Doo, again, a lot of DC characters, Ring of Honor, wrestling, all official figures. We got a Kiss Dynasty set coming out this year.
Oh, nice.
So,
nice.
Figures Toy Company, the whole crew there is great. Anthony, Steve, Tanner, and Tony, all them guys, great guys.
Now, I mean, now going back to the whole sculpting thing, like early on, it sounds like you tackled something I thought would be like the real hard one, is the Planet of the Apes, one of my all-time favorite things of life.
Me too. I love those movies, man. I was just being a fan. I really, studied their look and all of that, and captured it, through clay and wax. And I usually use Super Sculpey Firm or wax, but or both even. I'll transform it into wax and then finish the details in wax.
That is wild. So, now, how about like when you start doing the Kiss ones, were you scared, like, especially like these amazing Gene Simmons dolls, were you scared like Gene's going to say like, yo, you can't sell these?
Well, now I'm doing official stuff, so that wouldn't happen. But as far as my customs, no, I wasn't scared at all, to be honest. They're limited things. It isn't like mass production, and it's like art. People paint pictures and sell them, and they're public figures. So that's what I did. It's art. I sculpted a figure, put it up, and they're all over the place. Look on eBay. I mean, everybody does custom figures to everyone. They're public figures, and it isn't like they're mass producing them. They're pretty much one-offs. Sometimes they'll make a few of the same one, but not many.
Did you ever have anybody like that you did make a figure of, like, reach out to you and be like, I want one?
Actually, you ever see The Good, the Bad, the Ugly? Of course, right, with Clint Eastwood?
Yeah.
The actor Eli Wallach?
Yes.
Yeah, he played Tuco. Great actor. Anyway, his son we talked last week. His son just got in touch with me and really loved the sculpt I did of his father, and wanted to order a few figures and stuff. Really nice guy. His name was Peter. And so I'm doing stuff for him. There's been other people I can't think of off the top of my head. But there has been other people, here and there that wanted figures,
That's amazing. Now, how about like one of your dolls that you did, and I was always blown away by it, and now years later, you've kind of like brought them back to the music scene and like resurrected the whole love of Punky Meadows and Angel.
Punky Meadows,
yeah, the Punky Meadows.
That's my main man. Oh, Angel.
At the time?
Well, what's that at the time? What?
Did you know Punky, like, when you made the doll? Or?
When I made the figure, I think I did. Let me think. So the whole thing with that was, Kiss and Angel were my all-time favorite bands as a kid, and Punky and Ace were my guitar influences, and Punky always, when I was younger, he was always like my favorite rock star, him and Kiss and all that. So I had a band called Tail and Storm, and we actually, we're so influenced. Like, I would wear white, and the rest of the band would wear black, and it's kind of mixed between both bands, but it's pretty funny. But the music was good melodic rock, And then as time went on, I always wondered what happened with Punky, and I found out he ran those tanning salons when he did at and I read that in a newspaper article he did. So, out of a wing, I just said, hey, let me give a call. I'd always like to tell Punky what a great, influence he was on my playing and just as a rock star in general and as a person. So I called and I got to talk to him. So we talked for a while. We really hit it off. We got into the whole conversation like we're doing now about sculpting and music and it all came down to us talking a few times, and he invited me down, and I went down there with my friend, and we hit it off. And I always said, look, if I ever got back in the music business, man, he'd be the guy I'd always want to say, hey, man, if I got something going on, would you be interested? Or just always try to get back out there because I knew how many fans wanted to hear not only Angel play again, but Punky, as a guitar player. I knew, there was a lot of fans out there like myself. And so once I got back into music, I had a band called Lords of Mercy that was doing really well, and we got signed to a label with major distribution. And one of my other great friends, Keith Roth, he works for Sirius and all, and the Rat Radio, a great DJ. I'd say he's the best out there, him and Eddie Trunk. And so what happened was Keith we were talking, and I said, hey, it would be great to get Punky on an interview. I wonder, if you'd want to do something on the Rat. And he said, man, if you could get Punky, that would be amazing. So I talked to Punky. We got to be really good friends at that point. And this was, what, about 6 years ago, I'd say, maybe 5 years ago. And I said to Punky, he said, well, I told him I'd be guest host, so it would be comfortable for him if he wanted to do it.
Right.
If not, it's all good, just wanted to see if you wanted to get your voice out there. Nobody's really ever heard you or what you have to say. And he said, hey, man, you know what, let's do it. So that whole thing aired, and it was a 2-hour whole Angel special and Punky Meadows and the interview. And when that aired, people could call in and listen, or they could not call in. I'm sorry, go on the internet and listen and log in and all of that stuff onto the Rat, and the servers went down. People were trying to listen from the UK, Australia, Japan, and there was so many listeners that were intrigued to hear Punky again, and just because if you remember in the 70s there weren't many interviews or anything like that, so no one's ever really heard him till this interview, and it was great, man, and that kind of sparked things up. And then I remember talking to Eddie Trunk, and he said he'd love to do a podcast with Punky and stuff like that. So then I told Punky about that. That happened, and then things started really moving along, and I just said, Punky, why don't you, I don't know if Angel's not getting back together, would you want to do a solo album? I write, you write, what would you think? And we started talking really serious about it, and we started writing together, and he said, yeah, you know what, let's do it. And, we did it through Main Man Records. We had worldwide distribution with MVD. But then we also got to deal with Japan on Rubicon and Escape in Europe, so Escape Music. So we actually got 3 record deals for the album. And, now we've grown to be like best friends. So the whole thing is great. And I'm glad he's back out there. And, the fans are really, loving the album, and I'm really proud of that album. It charted on Billboard. It's something, I could look at and say, wow, not only is Punky back, but I co-wrote the album with him and produced it, and really wanted this thing, to come out amazing. And in my opinion, it's such a great album, and I'm real proud of Punky. He played so good on that album, man. His leads are just so melodic and they're memorable, and I'm real happy he has something out there that he's happy with, and that means a lot. So, yeah, man, and we're writing already for the next album, which is really cool.
I mean, dude, I mean, Punky Meadows. Well, you even admitted one of your biggest influences. I mean, you were such a vital person in bringing him back and getting him to do music again. And that's gotta really like freak you out to think about it.
Punky wanted to do it. That's the main thing. If believe me, it wouldn't be done if he didn't want to do it. So you know what it is, man. We've been working together for now, I'd say 4 years, and I'll tell you, man, we just have a great relationship, whether it be writing, a friendship, whatever it may be. We just gel together, man, and we're on the same page when we write. And if it wasn't like this, I don't think Punky would even want to do it, But we just have that chemistry that works, Thank God. I mean, I didn't coming into it. I knew we were friends, but I didn't know that it would be such a great team. I had no idea,
right.
we're lucky we have that. I mean, we talk every day about everything, and like I said, he's a best friend, and we write together. Like, I'll tell you, man, out of these 4 years, I can honestly say we never even had an argument, or there's disagreements that we always come to agreement, and they're all good things, all positive, man. When we talk, we're always like laughing and excited and about going and doing the next thing and playing, and it just I've worked with a lot of bands, but I'll tell you, this whole thing has been a real pleasure, man. It's really great. I'm having a blast.
I can imagine. I mean, it sounds like me and you would come like from the same mold. Like grew up probably in the '70s. All the same interests: Planet of the Apes, Evil Knievel.
Oh yeah, Kiss, Angel, all of that, man. I mean, they were the times, And now, you know what it is. I'm still staying in them times, But now I'm actually doing things with the things I actually loved officially, and it's really crazy. You wake up and you think about it, but I'll never take it for granted. I thank God every day, and for the talent he's given me, and with the sculpting and music, and just in life in general. So, you got to appreciate what you have every day.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you guys are getting ready to do another run of dates, and this time you got Frank from
Frank
Angel.
DiMino, yeah. He's great, man. Let me tell you, such a cool guy. I mean, when this came together, he couldn't have been any cooler. He's just me, him, and Punky always have conference calls, and we talk all the time about what we're gonna do and the song list, and we're real excited to get out on the road. I think this thing is going to be great for the fans. Again, like all the other Angel fans, of course we would really love an Angel reunion. Everybody would. But at this point, it's really up to the guys. That's all it's up. You can't force everybody, hey, man, get together. Me and Punky have had talks. I'd bring it up once in a while. Hey, maybe get together with the guys when you get a chance. But again, it's up to them. They have to want to do it and have the passion to do it. It's not easy, You all have to get in the same place, write together, put your heads back together. It isn't like, yeah, let's do it. It isn't that simple. It's a lot of work. So, when they're ready to do that, that'd be great. But at this point, now having Punky and Frank together on stage, it's like, it's going to have an Angel sound. I mean, these guys are amazing. Frank still sings amazing, sounds great. Punky's better than ever too, and man, I'll tell you, it's going to be great. The backup band is killer. Actually Billy, he plays a lot like Barry too. He has that type of style, Barry Bonham, so, and he's playing the songs incredible. Charlie, the keyboardist, is doing all. He's kicking ass. Well, Charlie.
Yeah.
So he's kicking all kinds of ass. We're doing the Fortune. I mean, he's really nailing that feeling in the keyboards, and Steve O'Jane on bass is kicking ass too. Great player, great guy. All these guys are just super. They're really nice guys. No egos. No getting there and going back and forth and all of that. That stuff will drive you right out of the music business.
Right.
So these guys are super cool, man.
So you said you guys are already working on the next album.
Yes, we've been writing a lot, man. I'd say we have Oh man, probably almost the whole album done. I'd say at least 10 songs already.
Wow.
Yeah, we got this cool song. Punky's started this one song 1975. It's great. It's got a cool story and a vibe, and just like we were talking, how everything was so cool back then and everything. And I have this song I started called "Sufferin'." It's really catchy. It's got a good melodic hook in it, and it's kind of heavy. And so what we do is we'll bring about 6 songs each to the table, and you know uh and uh and then he'll help me write a bridge or a couple some of the words, or we'll work on melody, and then the stuff he brings I'll write like the melody to the verses and the words, and maybe whatever. So we really just have a great. We write over the phone even. Like I'll call him, hey man, listen to this. What are you thinking? Oh yeah, try this idea to that, or he'll call me, listen to this. I'll be like, oh shit, listen to this melody, man. How's this sound? And we just keep going back and forth, and we'll tape things, and then sometimes I'll come up with like 3 or 4 choruses to something maybe he's written, vice versa. Like he wrote when he was writing Homewrecker, I had about 3 or 4 chorus melodies to the music that he written to the chorus, and the one we basically came up with we both liked the best, so you won't be home tonight, that whole part. And then I came up with Lost and Lonely, and I said, oh, dude, I really think this song will be great for Frank to sing. It has an angel vibe. And then, he came in and helped me, arrange it and wrote the bridge and all different things like that. So we just work really well together. So, I thank God for that, and I think the next album's going to kick major ass, man. We're really excited about the songs. I'll never say an album will be better than the first, but I'm thinking it will be as good for sure.
That's awesome. Now, will Frank be on the new album singing? Or will Chandler? Will both? Or
this is something that we have to talk about. When the time comes, I'm sure. Punky will ask Frank to do a guest on 1 or 2 songs, and same if Frank made a new album, I'm sure Punky would guest on his as well. And they always had that friendship that they could just say, hey man, you want to do this, and they're very, very close. So I'm sure that'll happen. And then Chandler, we have in mind for him to do the album as well. I mean, in my opinion, he's in our band. It's just this year we're doing something different. This isn't the Punky Meadows band. This isn't the Frank DiMino band. This is Punky Meadows and Frank DiMino of Angel going out and doing special shows for the fans. And we're doing a full Angel set with a few solo songs mixed in there. So I think the fans will love it. I think everyone should get out there, and if you wanted to see it, you want to hear it, you got Punky and Frank right there. So I'm very honored to be a part of this.
Has it been surprising, or from you, Danny, not only being friend and bandmate, but fan as well, being part of this, but experiencing it alongside with Punky? Have you seen him be kind of surprised, like that the fans are wanting him back in music and to see him again and hear him again? Has it been kind of cool to experience that with him? And I'm sure he's got to be kind of surprised because he was out of the music world so long.
Yeah, initially, he was surprised. I used to tell him though all the time, dude, you got a lot of fans out there, man. Yeah, whatever, Danny, sure. He didn't realize it, I think once we did the interview, that sparked some, passion in him. He really needed to have that passion again. He had to want to do this initially for this to even happen. So, that sparked some interest, and then us getting together. I think our friendship and writing, how we gelled so well together. I think that was a big part of it. And he was very excited, to see the fans and the reaction, and he's real happy about it, man. He's enjoying himself. He's happy to get out there, and he's happy he made new music and is making new music. He's really proud of that album. I know that. We talk about it a lot. So I think that's great, man, because who knows what would have happened. I really can't say, but you know what? We don't have to, because this is happening now. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, how
so.
about you yourself? Like, what? I mean, you're busy with Punky and dates and tours coming up, and you got the sculpting, the figures. Do you have other music stuff you're working on as well, or?
I do write with the singer from Lords of Mercy, Brandon Sweeney. Great singer, great friend, and we've written some albums. Some songs together that we plan on possibly recording in the future. And we have some plans. But right now, of course, this is I'm dedicated to this fully, no matter what else I do. This is my number one with Punky. But there's some stuff down the line that I may do. But again, I'll always be working with Punky, so that's when the time is come that I have to be and do that. That's where I want to be. I couldn't be any happier doing what I'm doing with this whole thing.
That's awesome. Well, Dan, I mean, you're truly living the dream, my friend. You really are. You're
thank you, man. I appreciate it. Like I said, you don't take that stuff for granted, and I'll tell you, I always said, just it isn't about being rich. It isn't about all of that. It's doing something you love in life and being happy every day doing it. Of course, you got to pay the bills, so try to make something you love work, and if not, get a side job, and still never stop doing what you love as well. I'm living proof it's never too late. Even with the sculpting, I didn't start that till later on, and I've been doing that for a living for like 15 years. That's all I do is sculpt for a living, and thank God I even get to work from home. But music-wise too, people always wanted to make it or do get out there and play, and then they'll say, maybe I'm too old now, or maybe it's too late. It's never too late, man. Do what you love. There's actors that don't start till their 40s, 50s. It's never too late. And again, you just never know what could come. You just don't. So
it's funny. I used to sit there, going back to the sculpting too. I would sit there and see what you were doing. I'm like, and you were inspiring me. Like, I gotta try this. I was like,
yeah, and that's so cool. I'm glad you're inspired, and I hope you tried it.
I didn't. It was, what? I was so intimidated by it. I wanted to do a Randy Rhoads one, and
I love Randy Rhoads. Big fan.
I would see your stuff, and I'm like, how the freak did he do this? It was so amazing.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Did.
Yeah, I have to do a Randy Rhoads figure. I tried it once when I was first starting. I didn't think it was too successful. It didn't look too great, but I'd love to nail it where it looked just like him, and that I would definitely try that one day. But I'm so busy with other stuff. It's just,
sure.
But I'll get to all my favorites one day. Yeah. So.
Well, Dan, dude, thank you so much for doing this, man. It was great to finally talk to you after all these years.
Hey, Bay, it's been a pleasure, man. Great talking to you as well. I appreciate it.
Man.
I appreciate the interview.
Yeah, I look forward to meeting you when you guys come to Philly next month.
Yeah, you're coming to the show?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, great. Well, we'll get you in, so let me know ahead of time, okay?
Oh, cool. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you got it, brother. Anytime. So we'll be in touch, man, and thanks again for the interview. I really appreciate it, buddy.
Absolutely. Take care, Danny.
Take care, Bay. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.